Getting your financial freedom is easier than you think, but there's a process to it. And if you want to speed that journey up, I highly suggest you watch this video. It's going to help you out, and it would have saved me 10 years of suffering if I had known about this at your age. Let's get right into it. Number one, you want to make sure that you have a full-time job. That's right. You want to succeed and get your financial freedom? Get a job. Just over broke. You don't want to be broke. You want to be just over broke so that you do not have any financial need or desperation, and you can actually do things that other people who are broke are not able to do. In addition to this, I want you to get a second job. Bro, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to build a business. If you want to succeed and get your financial freedom, you first have to get a work ethic, because nothing is going to work if you're just tinkering with your thoughts. Oh, I could do this business model. I could do this. Bro, while you're trying to figure out how business works and how you're going to become successful long term, I need you to get a full-time job and a part-time job, and no freelance crap. You need income coming in where you exchange time for money and you have any salary, okay? Minimum wage doesn't matter as long as you're working full-time plus a part-time. Now here's step number 2. This is where you need to choose extremely wisely. I suggest that you get a professional to help you with this, like for example ONTRACC, myself, or an expert who knows what they're talking about, helping you to figure out which industry and which business model you should be in based on your likes and dislikes, based on your skills, expertise, your experience, based on the probabilities that you will actually do this for a long period of time. It doesn't have to be your Amazon, okay? I found my Amazon, but it doesn't have to be that for you in the beginning part of your journey. You're just trying to get financially free. After you get financially free, then you can figure out your Amazon or what you want to do long term or for life. But in the beginning, you just want to make 5 to 10K a month so that you can never again work a full-time and a part-time job as I'm asking you to do in step number 1. So step number 2 is so crucial that you spend time on it so that you don't choose the wrong thing. And what do I mean by the wrong thing? Something that you can easily basically give up on in 3 to 4 months time because it's not my cup of tea. I've got someone who I coached and he quit, and he's still chatting with me once in a while. And now he just told me after like 2.5 years, 3 years of trying coding, yeah, I don't want to do coding anymore. Like it's not my cup of tea or whatever it is that he said. I felt so sad for him, man. Like you don't put 1,000+ hours into something, and just because you haven't seen any money come out of it, like you stop digging for the gold right before the gold arrives. That is the worst thing that you can do, even if it's not for you. Okay, we understand. You don't want to code for the rest of your life, but you need to continue until you hit the gold and until you start producing money, because it actually pays really well when you manage to get a job. He's just really bad at getting a job as a coder. He's okay at coding. He's not good because he'd be a junior coder, but he's just horrible at sales and marketing. And that's the thing that he's struggling with. And so he just needs someone to help him with that part, and suddenly everything would work and he might like coding again. I'm giving you that as an example because you shouldn't ever choose a skill and then give up on it. So why would you treat a business model or a niche as something that you can just toss away after 3 to 6 months because you got bored, or because it was too difficult, or because you found a better woman in the red dress? If you want to speed up your process towards financial freedom, you've got to choose something once and then only that thing, and then keep going until you're financially free. If you do 5 different things, it's going to take you 5 times as long. If you do 10 different things, it's going to take you 10 times as long. Why would you ever want to delay your financial freedom? You choose one thing and stick to that one thing until you succeed. You will until. There is no exceptions to the rule. You need to only do one thing. I don't know how to overemphasize this because I'm trying my best for you to understand this, because you will be ahead of 99% of entrepreneurs. Okay? Because you got like entrepreneurs, it's like 3 to 5% of the population are actually entrepreneurs, right? The rest are just working jobs. You'll put yourself in the 1% of the 3 to 5%ers if you just choose one thing and then stick to that one thing until you make a lot of money. Very few people are going to tell you this stuff, because most entrepreneurs, even guys that are multi-millionaires, get stuck doing tons of things. And as a result, they're not Elon Musk. They're not Jeff Bezos. They're not Mark Zuckerberg. You might say that Elon Musk doesn't belong in that one because his Amazon is multiple businesses, but he's kept it down to 3, okay? He's not focused on 10 projects at a time or 5 projects at a time. He replaces himself and then he focuses in on maximum 3 projects at a time. But he's got the luxury of doing that, being the richest man on the planet. You still have a job. You're still just over broke. So for you, in your situation, just get one business industry chosen and make sure you talk to a professional, because then that process goes smoothly and a lot more quickly. By the way, we're having a skills test that's being released in a few weeks' time. I'm excited for us to talk about it on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and like, because that's going to help you a lot with step number 2. Step number 3, once you have chosen your industry, your business model, your niche, it is time to find your expert. You want to, at this point in time, start working for free. Do whatever it is that they need you to do. Just be around the person who is the expert, who is making, hopefully, a lot of money in that specific space. And you want to get inside their brain. You want to have their thoughts. You want to talk the way they talk. You want to behave like they behave. You want to have the exact same habits that they've got. You need to look at the way that they dress. You need to look at whatever it is that they're doing. You need to just get inside their head and understand how they think about their business model. This one could be a little bit difficult to fulfill because most people don't want to spend time with you. Could we agree with that? Most experts who are making a lot of money in their industry, they don't need you. They prefer to pay someone, an expert, to tag along with them, not you, who's a nuisance potentially, and also draining of their time, attention, and money because you don't have anything to offer. Most people who are experts in these industries would need to be paid heavily in order for you to even get some of their attention. If you have those funds, and you might because you have a full-time job and a part-time job, pay that money to get their secrets. Now, obviously, you don't want to be doing that to any expert because, hey, you don't know how much they're going to give you or what value they're going to provide. But if you begin to talk to a lot of different experts, let's say, for example, a list of 20, you'll find 3 really good ones that will kind of take you under their arm, but one of them is going to be off the charts amazing at teaching you what you need to know in order for you to succeed in that industry. You want to have 3 because 2 of them might kind of fall off the wagon, or might be traveling a lot, or might not be responsive and not really care about you because they don't need to care about you, but one of them is gonna stick. You just gotta go through that process of working for free and work for free for multiple guys until you found that one guy who is fired up about making you successful because he just wants to help. He just wants to see someone who's interested in what he's doing because his kids aren't interested very often. The people in his social circle aren't interested. And he has to go online in order for him to talk to someone, about his business. But if there's someone local, a kid, an 18-year-old who was in his shoes in the past, and he kind of sees himself in you from 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, you work with him, man. It's a luxury situation. It's insane if you have that opportunity. Make use of it. Now, this is the last step. This is step number 4. You want to make sure that you make yourself indispensable to this man. That one person out of the 20 that you wrote down, that one dude, make yourself indispensable for him. Be very wise, again, in what you choose as a business model industry, who you choose as the expert that you're going to shadow and work for free for, and then make yourself indispensable. If you've got enough cash flow and you no longer need a full-time and a part-time job, drop everything just so that you have sufficient enough for making money. And that might just be a part-time job. Don't spend a lot of money, right? So if you can survive on a part-time job and you found the one dude that you're going to shadow over the next few years, then drop everything else and make yourself indispensable for him to the point where he starts offering you money, because he will. And once you're being paid by an expert to get his information, we're talking about massively leveraging the 80-hour work week. Like, I wish I knew this stuff, man. I wish I could have done this 15 years ago and I would have sped up my process so much more. But no, I didn't have this information, but you do today. So you can make use of this and start dominating in your field in your early 20s, maybe even in your teenage years. It's insane what you can do. At some point, he's going to have to pay you a lot of money for you to stay with him, because you can now go and do your own thing, understanding all of his failures, all of his mistakes, all of the stuff that he knows from having put 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 hours in that specific industry. You now have that compressed into the hours that you worked for the dude, and you can now transition, start your own business, and become successful from day one. You've got this. I believe in you. Make sure you DM me if you want my assistance. I'll see you guys in the next one.